Hey, it's Adam. It's the 8th of January 2019. Happy New Year, everybody. Um, Today I am 6 days post-op from top surgery, and it feels amazing. It really does. Um, it's been a lot less painful than I thought. It's been a lot less traumatic than I thought. Um, it's been pretty smooth, to be honest. Uh, I was admitted on New Year's Day. I had to ring in the morning to see if they had a bed, and I was told that they would ring us back. Obviously, with it being New Year's Day, they weren't sure about bed situations and things like that, and I started panicking a bit. Um, I hadn't heard anything by like 2 o'clock, so I thought I better ring back and see what's going on. So then they informed me that they would ring us back after 4:30. So I thought, well, I think I better head towards the hospital because being New Year's Day, luckily I had a lift, because if I'd had to go on public transport, I'd have been screwed basically. But luckily my dad was giving us a lift through, but I wanted to get there in the daylight. I didn't want my dad driving back in the dark because he doesn't really like driving in the dark. So we're headed towards the hospital, and my mum was staying in a hotel nearby, so we just checked in there and hung around there. And then I think it was about 5:30, I got a phone call saying that the bed was available. Did I want to go and check in? So, excuse me. I went to the hospital, checked in, got booked in, did the admission, and yeah, just everything flowed from there. It was just bonkers, really. It just seemed to fly by. I was put in a ward with two other guys, an older gentleman and a fella probably in his 50s. And another guy who I knew who was going in for top surgery, he was in the bed sort of diagonally opposite us. So it was nice to have him for company when we're in there and support, and to be able to sort of go through this chapter of our journey together. So that was awesome to have that. So yeah, it was. I'm still sort of buzzing from it. It just still feels a bit unreal at the moment because I'm sort of still got the binder on and the packing underneath, to sort of protect my chest from the binder so it doesn't push too hard on my chest. But it looks amazing. I've had a look. I was at the hospital yesterday for to get me dressings changed, and the nips were uncovered. They had like a padding on them, but the surgeon had stitched them on. So the nurse that was trying to get the stitches off was like swearing because she couldn't get the stitches out. And the right hand side. Obviously, this is my right hand side. No, sorry, to not. This is my left hand side. I think the anaesthetic still got my head a bit foggy. My left hand side, I've got a lot of feeling, sort of right here and down into the chest, and I could feel when she was pulling the stitches out the nipple area. This side, I haven't got a lot of feeling at all. It's sort of quite dead still. But when she was like cleaning them up, it's just as all this water's cold, and went to wash it over, and this side I couldn't feel anything. There was nothing. I could feel her rubbing, but there was like no sensation of cold. This side, as soon as she started washing, I was like, yeah, that's freezing. So, obviously one side's a lot more sensitive than the other, and it's this side where I've got a big bruise under here where they took the drains out. Other than that, I've got no chest bruising whatsoever. There's a little, where the scar is here, I've got a little bruise there and a bruise here where they took the drains out, and that's it. I've been really lucky bruise-wise. And I'm back every week for the next 3 weeks to get me dressings changed by them. And I've got no idea what happens after that. I've got no idea. I'm presuming I'll get a letter in the post for to go back and see the surgeon at some point. But I have to say, his work is phenomenal. It's Mr. Rubin at Durham University Hospital in the northeast of England, and unfortunately I found out not long before I had surgery that the funding's been cut at Durham Hospital, so people can't get their surgery up there anymore. It's a shame because he's a really good surgeon. I just hope that people can get his expertise somewhere else in the country, because his work is phenomenal. I was quite big chested and had no sort of expectations of what it would look like, or I'm quite a big person. I'm not skinny or anything, so I had no expectations of what my chest would look like. And to be honest, it's really, really nice. There's obviously a lot of swelling here, which I'm hoping when it goes down it'll look even better. So if you're a bigger person and you're wanting top surgery and you're worrying about what it'll look like, don't. Everybody's different. Everybody's chest looks different. He was worried. He's a bit of a perfectionist, and he was worried that the nipples wouldn't be symmetrical. There wouldn't be, and not everybody's nipples are symmetrical. You can look at cisgender men and their nipples aren't symmetrical. They're not exactly even on the chest, and they're not all in the same place. So I said to him, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not looking to be the next, male model, because that's never going to happen. I'm looking to be able to, I want to be able to look in the mirror from the neck down and be able to say that this is my body. And I've done that already. I've already done that. I've sort of, when I took the binder off to go in the shower, I've done that. I've looked at it, or with all the gore and bruising that's there, I can look at that and claim it now and say that this is my chest. So, that dysphoria hasn't gone away. It doesn't sort of magically go away as soon as that knife goes in your chest and sort of wake up and it's gone, because it doesn't. It's a slow process, and it's learning to accept that this is your body now and love this body for what it is, and learning to be able to look in the mirror again and not to look away from the mirror when you're getting dressed. I always got dressed with me back to the mirror, and now I know I don't have to do that anymore. I can get dressed and face the mirror and be proud of what I see. So it's been a crazy week. It's a week tomorrow that I had my surgery, and I feel really good. I really do. I feel really, really good. I've had minimal pain. I think I had my operation on the Wednesday morning. I went down at 9 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. And in the first 3 days, I think I had 6 oral paracetamol, and that was because I had a headache. I didn't have any chest pain. I've got a bit of burning on the wound itself now, but I think that's like all the tissues and fibers trying to knit back together and heal themselves, and that's to be expected. I'm more than happy with what Mr. Rubin did, and the care I had. The staff on Ward 15 and the plastic surgery ward at Durham Hospital were phenomenal. The respect from those nurses was just amazing. There was the correct pronouns were used. They were supportive. They had nothing but kind words for me and the other guy that was in. They were hilarious, actually. They were really, really nice nurses. They were funny. They were sensitive for what we had done. They weren't sort of broadcasting it to the rest of the ward. Although some doctors think when they pull them curtains round your cubicle that they suddenly become soundproof. They're not. So that made us laugh a couple of times, but it is what it is. The guys weren't bothered. They found out eventually what would be having done, but they weren't bothered in the slightest. The families were fine, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, people are in, they've got to get better, and then they get out again. And to be honest, it's been a really positive experience, and although I didn't like going to theatre and being under the anaesthetic because it just terrifies us, um, it's been amazing. So I am going to sign off because I'm going to start coughing, and I've been waffling for 10 minutes now. So I just want to thank everybody for the messages, who's messages since I had my operation, of support and congratulations and all that, and everybody who subscribes and follows this. It's been a great journey, and I'll be doing more in the future. I just wanted to get this down while it was all fresh in my noggin. And I will be back soon. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notification, and I'll be back soon. See you.